Put this on the YouTube. That way you can check it later. Tess, year ahead. Give me a second. Strangely, we are in the Tempest for you right now. So this is the Tempest Tarot. I'm surprised that we're here, but this is where it is. So for Tess for the year ahead. Four of Swords, King of Swords, and I want one more Seven of Wands. Okay. This is, you need rest. You need to reclaim and restore yourself. This is recharge your batteries is what this year needs to be for you. Why? Because boundaries have been tested and pushed, and you need to evaluate what you need to do a little more strategically and plan. So let's see what's going on all the way around this. So flipping this down so you can see the cards, and flipping this down so you can see the cards. Okay. This is what's going on right now. So, and I think I want to start in June for you. So we're not going to start with the rest of May. We're going to start in June and work our way around. If I felt inclined to start with May, then right now the rest is most important. But we're going to start in June and work our way around from there. Okay. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, back to June. Queen of Cups. Okay. Queen of Cups is coming in big right here. This is the one that really wants you to focus on your intuition, focus on what it is your emotions are teaching you, but not get wallowing and lost in them. Look back and reflect is her lesson. And this is where you really, you see, but it's like, you know, when they say hindsight is 20/20, she's definitely got that, and she's got more intuition. She'll know where she's ignored things that were important. So in June, you're going to look back towards how far you've come. And this is the halfway marker of the year. And you're going to look back and think, okay, this is where we're headed. This is where we're headed. You have a better sense of direction for the rest of the year than you had in January going on. Not just because time naturally gives us lessons and experience, but because in January it feels like there was a little bit more chaos than you needed to have. And it's lingered, and now you're moving forward. The moon is here. This is asking you to pay attention to your intuition in July. There's something hidden. I'm going to go for clarification on this. There's something hidden again with this one, your intuition. Don't be stuck in the wallowing or the deception. This is interesting. I'm getting a Three of Swords here, but it's also coming up here. But what came to mind was the Three of Swords, and then I looked to check and see if it was in my read. Now, this happens to me periodically, that I'll get the impression of a card ahead of time. This is coming in November. So this is a hard lesson. It's a heartache and a hurt lesson that is, you're getting an awareness of here. You're going to get the reminder of it big in November. This might be just a little bit of an absence of a person in your world. Sometimes if people pass away, or loved ones that have passed, and reminders of that, or reminders of what might have been. This is giving me a Three of Swords energy, the heart lessons, and a little bit of memories that are difficult. Not necessarily bad, but very bittersweet coming through. Two of Pentacles. There's a balancing and a recalibration. This is an honoring of something that has gone before, something that has passed, and yet there needs to be more balance in here. Sometimes when someone passes away, we see, or people tend to see only the good, and you know the truth of the thing. Maybe it was difficult. Maybe it wasn't as easy as you'd like, but you prefer to remember them in a positive light or in a better light. Sometimes that's the way it is. But you have to also understand where it was difficult, reflecting on the past. Yeah, there's something very bittersweet between June and July, this bittersweet remembrance of something. And understand the lesson that was offered. Sometimes we think people, you know, maybe they're ignorant, maybe they could do better, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, we're all trying to do the best that we know how. It doesn't mean that it was enough. It doesn't mean that it met where we needed to have it, but it doesn't mean that it was purposefully harmful either. What it was is what it was, and what it is now, and you need to carry forward and move forward. But there's a little bit of this that needs acknowledged in July. In August, the Four of Pentacles. You got a little bit of the greedy miser pirate here. Now, this is the one that holds everything tight, 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 closed off. If you can put this in physical terms, sometimes this is like constipated, like uptight, like really too anal about things, too uptight, for sure. You're holding on to something that doesn't serve. When you have more than enough for stability, more than enough to move forward. As far as financial advice on this one, it would say be frugal in August. But it also says, don't be so uptight. Don't be so uptight that you are constipated and blocking your own flow, blocking what needs to move forward, so to speak. There's no pretty way to put that, but that's what I'm getting. There's no reason for things to get backed up. You can understand what you have. Ooh. Understand what you have. Understand where you can be more vulnerable and open things up a little bit more. This is what you can do. 5 of Pentacles going forward. You have the 4 and the 5 coming up here. The 5 is where you're on the outside looking in. Now, this is September. September is a beautiful card. Now, this one, usually we see them walking away from the church. This is the Tempest Tarot, and it's showing definitely a voyage. But look at the condition of that ship. I mean, it's battered and beat to hell. It's like, oh, no, what's happened here? If you want to go your own way, it's definitely going to feel like a challenge for you. It's definitely going to feel like something that, a little bit of heartbreak and heartache. Wishing that you could take some of these other people and circumstances with you forward, wishing there was a better understanding when there isn't, and you are going to have to separate and go your own way in September. It feels like you have enough stability here and then poverty lack here, and it's not so much that there's financial ruin. What it feels like is that you are having to separate yourself out from something that is, usually it's outside the church, outside tradition, something that's the traditional expectation. You're going to have to step into your own shoes to walk away from something. Okay, what else? Oh, step into your own shoes to walk towards your own independence, your own resources, become independent for you going forward after this. So this is like sitting pretty, all set up, nice. This is like poor little match girl. You're going to have to walk away from something in order to go towards this. That's what's happening in September. You are making a choice. You are going to leave a couple of people behind. And we always think of leaving them behind, and I don't know why I even phrase it this way, because they're not behind. They're not just stuck in time. They're doing their own path. They're walking their own path, but the paths are parting ways. You need to separate from them. You're going a different way in September. That's just how it is. October, we have the Queen of Swords, and November, we've got that 3 coming in. And this is where the heartbreak and heartache is. We are not all here for the same curriculum. The lessons of the past you will be reminded of as the holiday seasons come closer. But this is where you need to be clear about what it is and cut the shit. You need to do what is best for you. The Queen of Swords is right. She's fair. She's logical. She knows she's right. And she sometimes is misunderstood and gets a bum rap as the bitch. And she's not. She's really not. She's just, she knows what she knows, and she says, cut the crap, and she's not suffering the foolishness anymore. She's not playing any more codependent, enmeshed, entangled kinds of games. She's just done. It's not that she's pissy, she's just done. And in November, you're just done. The heart hurts over this, but you're not here to change other people, and you're not here to contort yourself and continually twist yourself into a pretzel knot to make someone else happy. The 7 of Wands that's in the center with the King of Swords here. This is figuring out your own boundaries, holding your ground. This is making your plan and thinking long term. And you need rest and respite and retreat going on. This is what you're learning all year long. Now, as we go into December, the Emperor's here. Emperor can be really rigid, and it's the divine masculine, and it's also setting up a formidable structure for you. This is something you are learning to how to set the rules for your kingdom to operate for you. You're having to take the lead and be in charge in a way that's different than what you thought you would be doing, different than what you wanted to do. This is December for you, and it's a trick. The word that I'm really getting is painful. So why is this painful for you? It feels like you're having to reestablish your own kingdom, reset not just boundaries, reset up terms. It's not even a renegotiation. You're having to start again. This is what's coming through. The Magician's here with this. It's like you're following your own true north. You see this compass here for the Magician. You see all the elements here for the Magician. You see it. You know what is your true north, and you're going to have to follow that. And yes, it's going to be painful a little bit in November. In December, you know what you need to set up for yourself, and you're doing it. What else is going on? Oh, the Empress kicks in next door. Now, this is the Divine Feminine kicking in January of 2026. Coming in big. Why? Because you decided you'd set up your rules and follow the true north. The Empress is coming in and the Two of Swords. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay. This is when it starts getting juicy and good. So all of this that you're going through from now until the end of 2025, be extra patient with yourself. You're needing this recovery time. Big time, big time, big time. When we get to January and February of 26, this is huge for you. You are making decisions now that the Emperor was setting it up. You've got some big major arcana going on. If you look at this, you've got Empress, Emperor, Magician coming in. Big, big, big. And you are making decisions going forward. What comes next after this? You're going to die when I show you this. All right, here we go. We've got here the Two of Cups, the perfect partnership, how you want to do it. Decisions made in February affect how you're going to operate in March. Now, these decisions can be romantic, as the heart alludes to. They can be business, and they can be like personal soulmates. It's not always just perfect partnership as far as weddings and romance and, you know, that kind of thing. You're learning to balance this already in a major way for yourself already here with these. But this comes in. There's a partnership. There's an even offering coming here. This is March. And April, High Priestess kicks in. I love seeing this. The way you're understanding balance here, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, all of this. You're understanding it really, really quite good. Your planning aspect is a little bit weak as we go from June through December. It gets really, really strong in January, February, March. Really strong. High Priestess is honoring her intuition moving forward. And the Star not just goes towards the true north like the Magician compass I said here. She's about the true north, following her hopes and dreams. And this is a very, very hopeful time for you. Your intuition is kicked in. It's like some of the crap and debris is completely washed off. And it takes a little bit of time. But the intuition is moving through in a strong, strong way. You are charting your own course in a different kind of way with the Star here. Your dream has changed by this time next year. It's why I didn't want to read on May, just of May 2025, you're letting go of something. By the time you hit May 2026, there is a definite change in the dream that you have. Now let's see what else is going on. And it's not wrong at all. It's super good. Super good. The universe wants to give you a gift and you're ready to receive, and this is huge for you. Super good. Anything else you need to know? Whoa. It's right here. It's right here. I can hardly contain it. Whew. Yeah, there is strong support. The universe knows that you're going the way you want to go. This is what's coming through on these. This is huge for you. You got the King of Pence and the Six of Pence. So this is somebody that's saying, show me your plan. I'll back your play. I've got you. I'm going to support you on this. I know how to build. And you are ready to receive and build something brand new coming up. This is what's going on for you. Everything that you're journeying through in 25, it feels like preparatory, and clearing the mind, clearing what it is that you want to separate out from, clearing what it is that you need to let go of, the heartache and the heartbreak. The sting of that feels still a little bit fresh right now. By the time you get a year from now, of course, it won't feel as fresh. And you will have more logic employed because you've got the King of Swords, Queen of Swords coming through. You've got this Three of Swords reference that feels pretty strong here, and it's strong in November. This is clearing and clarifying, getting rid of old debris, old energetic patterns that don't serve. It's a big, big deal. And these are big ones. This is not like easy work. This is not, oh, just, forgive and forget and move on. No, this is something that's a pattern that's been so established for so long, and you want a change in how this dynamic is set. And it is something the others in the situation are not going to change, which is why they get left behind, because you have changed. And it's not a mean thing. It's not a judgment thing. It's not a better than. It's just you can no longer operate in the way of accommodation. You're operating in a way that is more true to yourself. And that's what's going on. All right, that's complete. Wow. And this is the Tempest Tarot. And it is beautiful. It's very piratey, nautical, very, very beautiful deck. Different. It's like you're suddenly in a book. I love when the tarot decks feel like a book, because you get the 78 cards and all the pages of the book feel like you are on this adventure, so to speak. So that's what I got for you. All right, let me get a little water and then we'll check and see what's going on. So, all right. Okay, Alta, I see your message. Thank you, Kim, for pinning that. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. So that's my daughter, guys. So she's coming to visit, so I will see her a little later. Best realtor in Utah, my daughter. You betcha. You betcha. So anyway, that's what we got going on. We'll check what else is going on. And I thought that there was something else that came through. So if you let me know who's next, Kim, that'll be great. Shay, for a mini, love the Sagittarius she's seeing. Part of me wants to go to the Astro Matrix, but I'm getting no, don't go to that one. So what am I going? No. We're going to the Botan. That's unusual. All right, that's the one we're going to. So sometimes when the question is traced like that, I want to go all astrological, but we're going to the Botan Tarot, which is a different kind of looking tarot, but a mini. In love, regarding the Sagittarius. We're going to set this up like the Australian 10. Set it up that way. What's going on with love for you and the Sagittarius? I'm taking the relationship in the position of you, going through this way, and then we'll see what else is going on. So, okay. We're going to set it this way. Hopefully you can see it well from the Botan, and then we'll go double decking if we need to. There is something about temperance coming in, and sometimes I get this, and you guys have seen me get this before, where I get that nursery rhyme of peas porridge hot. Comes through, peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot 9 days old. Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in the pot 9 days old. There's a moderation that needs to come in when we get the peas porridge coming in. It's not just all hot or all cold. It's also reminding and giving. Don't be extreme in your thinking as far as this relationship goes. When we go to extremes in relationship, we miss out on some of the juiciest bits. So it's like, if soup's too hot, you burn your tongue. If it's too cold, it's unappealing. You need to get moderate. I don't know what that's about, Shay, but that's what's coming through. So let's take a peek. Okay. The relationship with the Sagittarius is not where it's at. That's what I can tell you based on this. So based on the cards that we're seeing here, we got the Five of Cups. There's mourning and loss and grieving growing on, and the Eight of Swords. There is limited thinking about what this relationship should be or what you want it to be. And it feels like it doesn't fit. I try to move this card. I try to move through this card, and I'm just getting stuck on it. As I'm like touching this card, usually I'm moving it, right? But 3 times I go to move this card to just even readjust it, and there's a stuckness. Why? Because there's a stuckness. What I'm getting is this is not an aligned. It's not even close to aligned. It's more like a clunk. No, it's clunk. I don't know what's going on with this relationship. It's not even that it's squirrely. It just feels like a fucking mismatch. Like, sometimes we have lovers and legends and people that we're with that we enjoy. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with having lovers and lessons, right? There's nothing wrong with this. But sometimes we confuse what's lovers and lessons with a long-term relationship. And it's not meant to be that. It's meant to be lovers and lessons, not long-term. That's what's coming through. We've got the subconscious and the conscious. We've got the strength and the 9 of coins. There's some kind of security that it feels like familiar, feels like comfortable, but it doesn't make it right. There's not comfortable and ease. The independent woman is here. You need more of the independence. Then we've got the 2 of swords and the moon, subconscious, and this environment that's what you're sitting next to and what you're around. And sometimes this 2 of swords will come up, and it's one looks exactly like the other in the swords. You see the lady comparing both options, not doing it from the emotional standpoint, kind of needing to be logical, need to make a decision. And this will come up sometimes if there's competition on deck, or if you are an option. There's not a nice way to say that. If you're an option, but not like, if somebody's an option in the lovers and lessons, they're one of several choices. If somebody's a contender, they're serious. You feel like an option. It feels like the games of comparison, competition, and all of this feel like what's coming in here. There's a little bit of a deception, and it feels like, it just feels clunky. Now, we have the Queen of Coins in the hopes and fears and the Temperance in the past. Feels like there may have been more balance. So again, there was a lesson here that came through in the past, and the Queen of Coins, hopes and fears, and the value and self-worth lesson coming up on here. In the future and in the outcome, Nine of Wands. There's a definite defensiveness. There's a resilience here. It's like you could stretch it and try and make it work and try and make it work and try and make it work. But truth and bone is already here. It's known to the bone. The Ace of Swords is already bringing the truth through. Let's see what else is going on. Same deck, second deck, right? If we see identical imagery, that's the universe trying to give you a big heads up signal. So this is what we've got going on. I'm going to flip this down so you can see. I want to see some of these aspects. I want to see what's going on. What's the grieving going on here? What's going on? What is helping you feel independent? What are you grieving? Let's take a look at that first. Because this is the relationship as a whole. Temperance. She was here in the position of the past. The balance is what you have lost. This is a card of loss and grieving. So the thing that worked so well in the beginning, the thing that seemed like it would be such a right or such a good fit is not there. Whatever it is that got you excited about this, it's not sustainable. It's meant to balance and teach balance, as is strength, but the temperance is, this is a lesson. This is a lesson. The independent woman, what does she need to know? Or both of you going independently, what do you need to know? What do you gain by this? You gain a fresh start. And this is you trust your higher self over me or any other tarot reader, but this feels like a fresh start with another person. It feels like you each get a fresh start, that you understand and honor the lesson, but you get a fresh start with something that might be the long term instead of the lover and lesson, okay? And that's not a wrong thing. That's not a wrong thing at all. It's just what it is. Okay, we have to talk about this for a minute. So there's this art called kintsugi, I think is what it is. And it's where you break the pottery or you break the ceramic. Some people have actually done it on TikTok and you can see it. But what they do is fill the cracks with gold. And then that becomes the art. That becomes the beauty. And this is what it is. What has been broken, what has been learned becomes part of the art of the whole instead of just having it here. And it adds to strength. It adds strength. The beauty of the vein of gold, the beauty of the lesson of the broken being healed and mended is what's coming through. Now what's coming up here as we go forward with the Ace of Swords? What's the truth about this? If you try and hold this and try and hold it for too long, it's not going to serve. It just does not serve. Knight of Cups. Now this one comes through sometimes as player, lady slayer. Sometimes this comes through as promises, and the dreamer. It's somebody that has perhaps a good heart, good intentions, but isn't able to exactly execute and get it perfectly done. It feels like you guys both realize this and that there will be a time of moving on. Anything else you need to know? I want to see for you specifically. Queen of Cups. Yeah. This is looking on the love lost and moving forward anyway. And this is the most psychic of the queens, the most intuitive, the most compassionate, the most kind-hearted and sugary of the queens. Sometimes we offer so much sweetness for other, and it's time to offer it to self. Anything else for you going forward to know? Okay, I'm going to the end of June now. Why are we going to the end of June? What does she need to know at the end of June? There's pairing and pairing in the evening. Not evening as in nighttime, as in balancing out. I'm getting pairing. I'm getting the image of a die, and the number 6 is on it, and it's pairing. End of June. This is a balancing. You're just learning balance, sweetie, and this is what you're going to be learning. End of June coming up. What do you need to know? 2 of Swords. You will have made your choice. It's your choice to make. 2 of Swords came up before, but you will know, you will have the discernment. Anything else? Huge happiness coming up at the end of June for you. Huge. The sun, big time blessing, abundance, reward. Happy coming. So don't be discouraged, honey. Don't be downhearted or sad about this. Huge. Happiest card in the deck coming up for you in the end of June. That's what I got, and it's big for you. It's a little tricky right now, but by the end of June, it feels like you feel the sun on you again, and you feel a sense of restoration coming through. So that's what I've got. You're so welcome, Shay. You are so welcome. That's what I got for you. And it is very beautiful. Very beautiful. So that's what I got. Hey there, Michelle. Hey. So we'll see what else is coming through on this for just a minute, and we'll keep on going. So, Kim, if you let me know what's up, then that will be good. Hey, Shirley, good morning. Oh, let's just clear. Okay, good, good, good. So I was showing you guys some of the decks that I got. I can show you some more decks, or if you have questions about different decks and want to see them, that's great. We can do a collective, but the paid list is open, and so that's what we're doing right now. And I have my daughter coming over later. I guess she's going to be a little bit later than I thought, so that'll be fun to see her. But if you haven't been in before, this is some of the cards in my collection. And then this is some of the other cards in my collection. So I love, 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 love tarot. Anything from my crew. Let's check in. So that question is regarding my guides. Let's see what Lucy's got for us. Lucy generally likes the Mind's Eye Tarot, but she's, okay. She's saying go to this. This is the Avalon Revelation. We're going to see what Lucy has to say and see what kind of message she wants us to pay attention to. Okay. She's saying just get in the cards, girl. You love your cards. Get in the cards, girl. That's a little bit casual for her. She usually says Angie or even like darling or whatever, but get in your cards, girl. So she's getting me there. Five of Cups, whatever this is that we've lost, whatever we're mourning, a lot of people are having a tough time pivoting and letting go. And the Empress, you have to let go before you can receive something new. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, so this is when we have our hands so full of things and we're holding on so tight, and we want to receive something, but we won't open our hand to risk losing something to receive. So this is what's coming through. Okay, what else is coming on, Lucy? She loves the I Walk in Beauty song. It's one that reminds me of my mother quite a bit, because vocally the singer of that song sounds like my mom's vocals from when my mom was singing. So something about that is a big deal. And she's bringing that up, and then she's walking. She's showing me the skywalk. The skywalk. The skywalk is a bridge from their world to here. The skywalk, we do it in the astral, yes. She's trying to get me to chill out. I'm clunky today. Okay, just give me a second. Why do you think I built that bridge? Why do you think we built that bridge? We built this bridge of time across the subconscious, across the sky. And in the night we dream, and in the night we see, and we learn the lessons that come forward. Why are we on the skywalk? It's not just the dreams that we have when we are sleeping. It's the dreams we have when we are waking that we've forgotten, packed back, far back into the subconscious. Forgotten. She wants to shake me awake. It's not just like waking the child out of a dream space when you wake a child at night. It's also waking the adult to remember the child, to go far back, to remember the dream. The skywalk. There is connections with the stars, with the star beings, with the angels, ancestors, call them the guides, whatever you will. There's connections that need to be not just made aware, but they need to be honored, recognized, utilized. The connection that is there isn't just so we can get a heads up from our guides, but we're to use them a little more, to ask them, how do we help move something a little more smoothly in this day? How do we get more in touch with the divine trying to help us flow? How do we get more in touch with this? Go back, child. Go back. Yes, it's usually Nell who is encouraging me about play, but she's saying, go back, child. Remember how it is you dreamt as a child. You dreamt in the land of make-believe, in the land of pretend and pretending. Remember, let it come forward. It is work to bring it forward. Remember how you played. The way in which you would play as a child. It's not just about the games. It's not just about the make-believe, but it's the ease with which, if you were bored, you'd go out and play. The ease with which you played. Time to go into this. Let the work and the weight of the world be set aside for a moment. Let the play carry you forward into the flow once again. Anything else? She really is asking us to be receptive to this playful nature. So sometimes we get all bogged down with the news or the stress or the drama or whatever is feels like the urgent emergency. She's asking us to go back and enjoy it. Okay, all right. She's giving me ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, ashes, ashes, we all found out. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. All of these poetic things, and yet we might get all bogged down in the writing of a thing or the writing of a story. Go back to the simple, go back to the simple. Go back to something of the nursery rhymes and nursery school. There's more that comes through in there. Some of them were based on quite brutal things. Push that aside, Ange. Push that aside. Go back to the simple. Go back to the simple. Okay. What else does she want us to know? She's saying, look to your guides, your other guides. You have more than one guide. Be very, very aware that there is a whole team working for you right now. We have the Four of Pentacles. This is holding something dear for you, holding something in store for you. We're more stable and more balanced than we realize. We are more prepared than we realize. There's not a need to be in fear or lack. She's pushing me over to Gogs. She's pushing me over to Gogs. Gogs is my guide that comes in very druid-like, very, very druid-like, very old man-like. She's showing me. She's showing me Gogs is working in the yard as he always is, like usually chopping wood or handling a fire, and he's going into the house. For Gogs, him going back is going into the house, going to this place of there needs to be rest. There needs to be, some call it play. There needs to be rest. There needs to be rest and play are just as important as the work. Okay. We're inside the cabin with Gogs now. It's just like the tumblers falling down. He's throwing logs on the fire and stoking the flame. And it's not that he's working so hard and sweating so hard. That was done already before. Now it's time to enjoy whatever it is the work is bringing forward. So sit by the fire is not a wrong thing. This feels like a cold fall evening. He feels like he's in a different season than we are. It's not winter, it's cold fall. He's like in how October and November is around here. It's cold, crisp air. It's cold. You need the fire. You need the heat. It's gone from day to night to going into this season change. This preparation, it needs to be balanced, yes. So the rest can be there, yes. There's nothing wrong with letting you have the time by the fire. There's nothing wrong with letting yourself be prepared and then enjoying the fire. Wow. Okay. There's something that is very savory smelling in the air. It's like a rabbit stew or something. I've never had rabbit stew in my life, but that's rabbit stew is what comes through. And he's with his wife, and it's very savory, and they're older than I am. They're beyond time. They're old. They're very much guardians. I think Chad sees Gogs periodically, and I think other people see Gogs periodically. Very, very grounded. This is something where get yourself grounded, be with the earth, be understanding, and savor what's going on here. The savory substances. He's really emphasizing savor what it is to be in the human experience. Checking in with Mo and Nell now. Mo is my other guide, and Nell is my other guide. Nell is more quiet today. Mo is busy. She's putting Post-its in every little cubicle. It's like, sometimes Mo strikes me as like a motel clerk would be, and she has all these cubbies behind her, all these little teeny boxes where she would put Post-its, and she's putting them in all these pigeonholes, Post-it notes. Yeah. So these things that we need to attend to, just to put a sticky note on that over and over. It's not like to be frivolous, and you're not frittering time away. You can put a note in it. I guess my older sister would say, stick a pin in that. Put a pin in that for now. And this is Mo's way of saying that. She's also saying break time. So put a pin in it. The work can be done later. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Anything else? Okay. Nell wants to come through, and she's coming through as the older version. Nell usually comes in, and she's usually around 10 years old when she's coming through. She's coming in as the older version of Nell, and she wants the When Women Had Wings deck out bad. Okay, we'll see what's going on. This is when Nell has certain decks. Nell's very, very fae, fairy energy, very much. What do you want with this? She's showing me her diving. She loves diving. When she dives, she'll dive into the water, and she comes up out of the water a different age. She's going back and showing me again. The old woman that dives into the water and goes back to age 10, and she's showing me it again. She's not showing me so much her younger child self. She's showing me the woman. Okay. Wow, she's stopped midair. What's going on? There's power in learning to stop fate. There's the learning coming through here and stopping fate. There's power in learning. She's stopping mid-air, mid-dive, as if we could, in our minds, stop space and time and learn. We need to understand how we bend time. How do we bend time and timelines? How do we bend time and timelines? Observe, learn when you're on the wrong timeline, when you're on the wrong detour, when it's not the divine detour, you stop. Go back, take another dive. Practice again. Four of Pentacles. Hold on to something. Now, this is twice we're seeing this. So this is coming from Lucy's side and from Nell. The woman and the child. We stop. We take a minute. This is observing what is going on with our intention, with what's going on here. Check what it is that the heart's trying to protect. Check your heart chakra. Check what's going on with what the heart's trying to protect. Okay, now what else got? The beauty of who you're becoming is never something that's easily seen. The beauty of who you are is when you are enjoying who you are. The beauty of who you're becoming is never easily seen. They won't give you enough of the future for you to shortchange your own lesson. It's when you're enjoying the lesson that the becoming moves easily. That's when the flow and splash. Oh, there she is. In the child. Yes. That's when the beauty comes through. When you're allowing yourself to enjoy something as simply as children allow themselves to enjoy something, this is when you are in flow. This is when you're moving through things. This is when the energy flows with the most ease and the most grace, and you're becoming all along the way. The core and essence of who you are doesn't change. The understanding of self is what you add unto. The understanding of self is what gets added. This is the learning that comes through, the access that comes through, and this is when you are aligned with fate. That's complete. Wow, that's complete. Yeah, so that was a heads up from the guide. So there's Nell and Mo and Gogs and Lucy that all have come through. Very, very interesting. It's always good of you guys if you want to ask. Don't ever feel like you can't ask, because whatever they want to bring through, they'll bring through. But that was gorgeous and unexpected. And it's like, okay, yeah. And they are always around helping. They are always around. So your guides may come through in different ways, but don't doubt they're here. Sometimes we're dialing in or focused on what they have to say a little bit more. Other times we're just doing what we have with the day. Yeah, I've got the 5 cent, Kim. I've got the 5 cent tarot. In with my bones. I'll show you. 1 second. That's this one. And I've got it in kind of the smaller Temu version, but that's this one. So, yeah. I love tarot, guys. This one, like, behind me. Yeah. So, and this one has, like, keywords on it, and it's got a little bit of a different way of doing, but it's super cool, and I would recommend it for people. Would I recommend it as beginners? Maybe not, but it's not a bad one. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. We just saw it in the other one. This is how they're showing it. But, yeah, it's great. That was amazing. Thank you. You're welcome, honey. You're welcome. So, yeah, this is what we got. So, that's the 5 cent. But, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Michelle. Tarot is something that everybody can love. There's just so many different ways it's represented. I'll show you guys a little bit more of this one. That is the, let me get the box. The Lumicella. Now this one is not as strongly peopled. I love the people in this so much. I wish they had illustrated every card with people. And they didn't, but it's so distinctly its own self. It's very distinctly its own. So those that. And let me show you a few more of these. And this is where it's a little bit different, like the Ace of Coins here. Different, different, different. And then here's the Chariot. So it's a little bit different. You have to get into the threads and crafter mode and go into that. And you can kind of see how some of it plays in. And some of it is really good. They have keywords because some of it, honestly, I wouldn't put that object with it and be like, okay. And I do prefer the people. This is their Three of Cups. This is very, very different. But yeah. So that's an interesting one as well. So yeah, that's the most recent edition that I've got. So yeah. All right, guys. Let's put this over here. All right. So Kim, am I caught up now? Are we current? Let's see what's going on here. I'm trying to catch up with my screen and see what's happening here. Oh, the Good Fortune Tarot. I wanted to show you guys this. You guys, some of you have seen this. Maybe most of you have seen this. This is one that surprised me, so I'm going to break it out. This one is peopled, and I kind of underestimated this one. Then once I got my hands on it, I immediately got two of them. I was like, yeah, I love this. And I got this from a shop in Salt Lake. But look how clever it is. This one, like, look at this. This is clever to me. This is the Six of Swords, and usually we see the boat. We see the person being ferried off, but this one's having to go step by step, almost like stones across the ocean, and throwing the swords ahead, overcoming what's going on in order to get to the other shore. This one fairly traditional, but yeah, you can definitely see stressed out, anxiety, sleepless night going on there. Here's the Justice. Very, very beautiful. So, and this one's called the Good Fortune Tarot, and the guidebook is great on this. Barbara Moore, great on this. This Three of Swords, interesting to me because you don't have all three there. You have the one being carried. It's almost like that thought hasn't dropped or hasn't been allowed to pierce the heart just yet. Like the crying time hasn't come yet, but the sorrow that needs to become, or the release of the hard thought that needs to be allowed to move through. So it's quite a good one. So that's what we've got. Okay. Do I have one with roses? I think I know the one you're talking about. Let me see. It's usually, I do have one with roses. See if I can, I rearranged my cards recently. Let me see if I can find where I put it. It's like the Romantic Tarot, I think is the name of it. And I do have it, and I'm not sure if it's, yeah, I have a couple with roses. There's a Romantic Tarot, and it's got like old world type of, almost like an Italian art. Venice comes to mind when I'm using this one. Then there's the Muse Tarot that also has roses. This is the Muse. It's got roses on the back of the card like this. But it's got modern art, but it's got kind of roses there. But I was thinking of this other one. Let me just look and see if I can find it. I know that I own it. I've got 2 copies of it. So where I rearranged it to, one only could guess sometimes. Not seeing it quite readily here, but I know I've got, oh, there it is. Duh. It's with my artsy type decks. So this one might be, this is the one that I was speaking of that has kind of like this imagery here and the roses on the back there. So yeah, I love tarot. I do probably have 750 decks at least going on now. So yeah, that's probably accurate. But I love, 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 love tarot. And I have some oracle decks, but this one is a really pretty one. And then this is like the Persephone one. This is more pomegranates. It's not roses, but it's really beautiful. So yeah, love, 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 love tarot. Love tarot. So if you guys want to see a certain deck, great. If you wanted to get a paid reading, great. This is what I'm doing. I'll be on here for a little bit more, and then I'll probably go grab some lunch, and then my daughter's coming over, so we'll see what's going on. But I can chitty-chat for a minute or 2 more. So what else is going on? Oh, this is the surreal one. This is my artsy deck. And it's very surreal, kind of weird. Like, look at this. I mean, look. You got the image of what looks like swans up top or something like that, and then elephants below. Very, very wild imagery going on. So yeah, but I love tarot. Is the list available? Yeah, the list is open. If you want to get a reading, I'm happy to do a reading. No problem at all. So yeah, the list is open. Does astrology play into the cards I pull for readings? Okay, this is a really good question. Astrology, I do know some astrology, but I'm not as strong on that as some of the others. So it does play. I've got this one. This one I call the astros and reversals in here. But here's the astro matrix. These ones have astrological influences, and these do. But I would say, you know, we get the sun, moon, and rising signs that are coming through, and that can be any of the signs that going on. But depending on what's going on in the houses and what part of life we're on, also plays into it. So I'm a Virgo, but I have 5 Libra placements that are really like, that's a big thing. And since I love tarot a ton, but astrology is a little bit second language to me. So I can understand some of it when it comes through, or I get the impression, okay, tell somebody to be looking for Cancer or Pisces, that's great. That's not the overlay I started with. So I learned astrology after I learned tarot, and I'm not super strong in it, but when it comes through, it comes through. Or whatever is the nudge, then if it says, you know, look for a Libra, look for a Pisces, I'm going to let you know, but I'm not going to be like, this is only this person, because it's an aspect. So Michelle, for a full reading through Cash App. Okay, Michelle, do you have a specific question? A mini love reading for Jacob. Okay, I'm not sure which came through first. Turn the page. So, Kim, will you let me know? Do I have the Star Seeker Tarot or Love and Courage? I have Love and Courage. I do have those. Yes, all of those. Yes. The Love and Courage is really kind of funny art. The Egyptian Art Nouveau, very pretty, very Egyptian-y. And the Star Seeker, yeah, I've got those. So I love those. So, okay, Kim, if you let me know who is actually next. I think it might be mini love for Jacob. Okay. So I can do a mini love for Jacob. Do you have a specific question, or do you want me to just kind of go in general? Because I'm happy to do either. Page, mini love on Jacob. 4-page about love and Jacob. Got it. Okay. Okay. All right, in the channel. Okay, we're going to the This Might Hurt. Now, this is a deck that is a trippy little deck. Yeah. Michelle, there's 2 Michelles. Yeah. Sometimes we have these repeated names. Okay. For Paige, about love and Jacob. And this is the This Might Hurt Tarot. It's very much more modern, but it's quite a good one. Really interesting. I'm going to flip this down so you can see, and I'm flipping down the iPad so it's recording. We're here with the moon coming up, and it's ever widening is what it feels like. Really dramatically widening here. A little bit of return here. Let's see what's going on. We've got the moon here. There's something that is hidden, mystery, misunderstood, not clear, not clear. Somebody wants to charge ahead, move forward, and somebody else needs to leave the rough waters. These are not simpatico right now. The love is not simpatico. Somebody's trying to get out of something harsh, something difficult, and somebody wants to charge ahead. It doesn't mean charging towards each other right now. It's not charging towards union. Somebody else is leaving something harsh. This is a harsh feeling. It's a burden for someone. Somebody else is trying to rise to their higher self. What we're seeing here as we go forward, we're seeing Judgment and the 10 of Wands. Somebody is carrying this hard. No wonder they want to move faster than what they can. This one feels like they're carrying too much weight. This one is trying to get to their higher self and get out of these harsh waters. And there's competition and strife over here and the devil over here. Somebody's out in the cold and the world says there's an ending. Now this comes to this returning point. This feels like this next little span of time, the gap between you and Jacob is just going to get wider and wider and wider. It doesn't feel like a returning to balance. I don't know if you're returning to yourselves individually or returning together. I want to get the second deck out now and see what's going through the midline here. So that's what we're going to do. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, now this is very individual, but I'm loving seeing this. You see the Fool here, over here. The world completes something, goes to the Fool. Bammo. You see what's coming through the middle? Bammo. You guys are on individual paths, individual journey. It does lead you to some happiness and new starts for your individual selves. I'd be stunned if I see a Two of Cups or the Lovers come out, but let's see what the cards got. Page of Cups, a funny surprise. This is the unexpected surprise. This is where you need to get artistic about what you're creating in your own life for your own new start. This is moving forward. This is a Page of Cups, a new start in love. It does not feel necessarily that you're merging together. Somebody's exhausted and needs rest and needs to reclaim. This feels more like it's leaning in towards this side. Very interesting. Page of Swords and Strength. Yeah. Okay. What I got here is there is like a divide in the relationship. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that the relationship is shot to hell, but there is a time where you need to honor your individuality, and Jacob also honor his individuality. And it seems like there needs to be separation. Like, there's an old cliche that goes, absence makes a heart grow fonder. And it is true. When we can't have as easy access to something, sometimes we revere it a little bit more, but it feels like you both have been absent from yourselves. And this is why it's created confusion. You both need to be able to take a leap of faith to start your own adventure, to start your own journey coming up. This stinky fish tea, it's where there's something more substantial if you get to rest and reclaim. And this is after witnessing and observing something, learning the lesson, and then communicating more clearly instead of having it be harsh communication. This one's leaving the harsh waters behind. There is a strength and a rebalance. What's going on is a recalibration. I wish I had a third deck of this. I don't. This is the This Might Hurt. Let's see what's going on after the strength. This is coming in time stamped. So I tell you times as they come in through me. This is the 8th. This is August to me. This is Leo season. This is time stamped. It feels like you return to yourself, and Jacob also returned to themselves by August. Now, what else is going on? That's a crazy kind of summer energy that's going to be going on for you. The Empress, Judgment, Hangman, and the Hangman turns. What I'm getting here is the Empress and Judgment was up higher. I'm going to show you where it was in these cards. I'm flipping down. The Empress and Judgment. Judgment. Right? Judgment right here. And Judgment comes in again. This is to thine own self be true. This is answering the higher call of your higher self moving forward. You're leaving a harsh situation behind. Something that has left you unfulfilled and unsatisfied is meant to teach you right now and change the perspective completely so you can get free of something else, free of an old pattern, free of something moving forward. It doesn't say that you and Jacob are an impossible combination or anything of the sort. But what it does say is there is a very distinct walking separate paths for a while that will be helpful for you, helpful to you. So that's what it's saying. It's showing me that this is highly important for you and for him as well. Anything else on this? It feels like this independent time that you're supposed to have and they are supposed to have is hugely important for both of you. And then the new start. Then the Fools, then the new start, then it goes back. Then there's a reset. It feels like you're getting a reset. You go independent ways and you get a reset. Does that mean you and Jacob end up resetting together is what I'm... Are you resetting together by August? It doesn't feel like that. What's going on? No, you're meant to go different directions, explore different things, explore different directions. By August, there's a rebirth and a reset, transformation. This is death and transformation, an ending and a reset. I think you and Jacob are going on to other things. It's almost like when kids graduate high school and then one goes off to college somewhere and somebody else thought they were going to go to the same place, but they end up going somewhere different. That's what it feels like. That's what's coming through. I don't know what's going on with that, but that is what it feels like. That's the clearest I can get. Do you and Jacob have a future as a tight-knit couple? It doesn't seem so. It seems like you have to have this independent time to come back to center, each of you, to your own center. Yes, that's what I've got. That feels complete. So it's not that it's necessarily even a bad thing or an outgrown thing. It's just a different kind of a thing. So that's what I got for you, honey. It feels like by August, the world has changed. And you're always so spot on. And it's not a bad thing. We don't like breaking up in relationships, or we don't like outgrowing relationships or letting go if we've outgrown something, or we need to go a different geography, different distance. But yeah, long relationships. Yeah. And long distance relationships are particularly challenging. Sometimes we have relationships that are well established, but they necessarily aren't working. So we move on, both of us, in different ways. And that's okay too. But that's what I've got. Okay. Michelle for a full. Absolutely. The long guys are outside. Sorry, it feels like very much the long guys being outside is a challenge. Michelle, we are going into the Lumicella for you. And I did get doubles of this. And I don't know if I would have gotten doubles of this had I known it wasn't as peopled as I thought. But this is very much the Lumicella. So we're going into it. And so we will be going off of the words that are coming in through this. What a reading. You love. That was a full. You love the layout of the cards. Yeah, I'll do all kinds of different spreads. So as the spread shape comes through, that's how I follow it and that's how I do it. But yeah. Okay. So Michelle for a full. Michelle, do you have a specific question, or are we just going in general, honey? Yeah, that was a mini. I get nosy, guys. So I say on my minis they're 7 to 10 cards, but I generally get nosy. And the fulls are 15 to 20, but I generally get nosy. And if I have double decks like I did on this, I have the duplicate deck, then you're definitely going to get that on the mini and on the full. And we just go and nose around, snoop around. I get nosy. Okay. General Michelle. Okay, you got it. You got it. Now, this is the Needle Woman's deck and a very, very much the borrower's deck. So I want to go into this energy of what this feels like to be in this old world, borrower, crafty, folklore and fable-y type of energy going on. So we're going to flip this down and see what's coming through for Michelle. We're getting the circle shape. What are we getting the circle shape for? I don't know, but that's what we're getting. One more. Okay, all right. Definitely the Needle Woman's is the right thing for coming in on this. Wow, we're just going and going and going here. So what we've got, okay. Kim will know what this is about. It doesn't look exactly like this, but it's the wedding ring quilt that I'm getting. The quilt with the wedding rings that are interlooping. And it's like we've got this loop going around here. This one comes in and wants to loop around, and it's like, think about circles that are interlinking. If you look up a pattern for the wedding ring quilt, that's what's coming through. Double wedding ring. Yeah. It's what it feels like. And we're getting the first circle coming through this way, and then we followed it through this way. So this is what we're doing. We start here with the Lovers. I love this beautiful Lovers. This is about choice, choosing what is the passion of our heart versus choosing where our life path takes us. When you're comparing who you love or what you love, and if you have to make a choice between the two, and how does that merge together? This is the Lovers. I love this. Love seeing this for you. Okay, I'm going to show this. I'm going to flip this down. We're going to be lost in the cards. Okay. The Emperor is coming through. This is an attachment to the Divine Masculine. This is also coming through as tradition, attachment to the traditional way, something that was set in the traditional way that has served you well, but now needs re-examined. The wall needs repaired. The structure that has been built is needing a little bit of repair. In the Needle Woman type of energy that's coming through, when the stitches are too tight, they'll break. They become fragile, or if cheap thread is used, it doesn't hold up as well. But this feels like over time, there's a repair needed. A repair in the structure of how things have gone. There's a change in the dynamic of the relationship of these two. There's a change in this. There's a change in who you're becoming. It's not that these two are not simpatico. They are. The choice is simpatico. There's a becoming. Reinforcement, perhaps, is what is needed. A repair and a mending is needed. And I don't know why that's coming so strongly with the Emperor, but it is coming. Here, we have this one is saying completion, and this is the 10 of Cups. This is happy, happy, happy. It's telling me a cycle is completed. There's something, I'm an empty nester now, so the cycle of raising my kids and getting them through high school and getting them launched is done, right? So that's one life cycle for a person. That might be one of the cycles or seasons or chapters of my life that I'm in. This is what I'm getting. There's a completion of a cycle somehow going on for that. So let's look again, look down again. Hopefully it's not too glary. They're pretty glary, I'm sorry. Okay, oh, the Queen of Cups, of course. The Queen of Cups is coming in. Now, balance is coming over the top of her, but Queen of Cups is coming in. And she's the older queen. She's, remember, the compassionate self. Okay. I'm getting you're being asked to call upon your charity, call upon your charitable side, your charitable self. You are being asked to expand, to allow love and charitable energy to come through, move through you. You're not the only one that can facilitate that, not the only one that can do that, but you're being asked to fill your cup, fill your own cup first, and then offer, and then offer. This is huge. The caution's coming through on this. Now, this is very interesting. This is the Four of Coins. Make sure your cup is full first. The Four of Coins is about usually the miser and all of that. But it's making sure your needs are met first and then offering the charity. Don't overextend. Don't overextend. The balance is asking for the balance here. This one's coming through. The victory is in learning this balance a little bit more as we're moving forward, coming through this first ring. And this feels like the pattern that is set. This is where the die is set. This is the pattern that is set. This other that comes in is the tertiary color. Is that even a word? This would be the primary color, or the strong color. Like if you're doing red and pink, this would be the primary, and then this would be like the pastel or the side colors. I don't know why it's coming in this terms, but the deck's trying to move through. The deck's trying to move through. So, okay, we've got charity and giving, partnership here. And again, there's fortitude coming through here. There's strength coming through here. The partnership here. This is the Two of Cups. And it's coming in pretty good size balance with the Lovers here. Very, very interesting. Courage needs to be going on through here. What's cutting across is courage and changing perspective. Fortitude of the strength. The balance that was over here also balanced here. You usually see the lady and the lion saying, come forward, come forward. This is saying balancing of the colors, balancing of the commitments, balancing of the intersections where these things interjoin, where lives connect, where connections cross paths, all of that coming through right here. Oh, okay. All right. All right. This is a time to take for your intuition to come through. The moon's coming through here, but and the other one is Hermit. Time for your own self. Solo, solo, solo. This is independence. This is holding the light for others. Some of what you do is offer others wisdom. Hold the light for others. Hold the light for others. What else is about this wisdom lesson? We're going to go the same deck, second deck. So this is how I differentiate. Same deck, second deck. What is the lesson of the Hermit? Now, this is a strongly Virgo card. I love this. I love that you're holding the light, but you're investigating something old, something in the workshop that is old. You're not just ascending and climbing and having spiritual lessons. This is something that you learned in your youth. This is something that you've learned a long time ago. This is something that would even be learned in a previous life, a lesson learned in a previous life. Very, very interesting. The solitude is something you're learning to enjoy, and there's a mirthful chuckle that I'm hearing. This is something very, very interesting. Transition and cutting here. And look, 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 look. We have this completion here. This is competition, completion. What we're getting. Okay, all right. What we're getting is the need to compete, the way you competed and compared in the past, it's been completed, but there's competition for something else, and this is something else vying for your time, your energy, your attention, your resource. This is huge. There's a transition. So maybe where you would have spent your time comparing and in the game of the comparison game. Uh, yeah. Okay. What I'm getting is how we used to see magazines so in our face, and the perfect woman or the perfect person, and this is what we thought, and this is what we thought we had to live up to, and this is what we thought we had to do, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like that's thrown out the window. That is completed and done. Cut, done. Huge. This is saying transition, but what I'm getting is there's a transformation of where you're spending your energetic currency and your resources. You transformed, instead of having competition with another, now you have something where you have competing ideas that are coming in and where you want to spend your resources, your time, your energy. Where are you spending your energetic resource? Conflict is coming in, you're not spending it there. And the mage is coming in. This is you learning to transmute whatever it is that's your energy. Yes. The solitude of this chuckle coming through here. This is coming through again. You've learned that the time alone isn't time badly spent. It's not even time where you were, like you're not in time out and being punished. If you're on your own and doing something on your own, it's important for you. Hugely important for you. Huge. And there's lessons to be gained. Huge lessons here. There's a balancing that comes from this. And there is a magic in returning to self. Now, as we're going around with this prime, and this feels like this circle in the quilt, in what I'm seeing, is very focused in red, root chakra, security, root chakra. This is, when we see red, we see power, we see blood, we see sacrifice, we see security, we see stability, we see all of those things challenged and lessons about them and how we do some of the primary things. This is what's coming in. So this feels like red, and this tertiary does feel pink. It feels a little softened, weathered with time, softened. Okay, what we're getting coming through next, action energy coming through. Now this is the Knight of Wands coming through. This is one of them that's an older knight. And when I was first reviewing this and looking at this deck, it was like, why are these knights so darn old? And then I think about it, and it's like, if somebody became a knight and they were awarded a knighthood, it's not taken just because somebody ages. No. This action that needed to be taken, if we think of even the Knights of the Round Table and how long they would quest or how long they would be gone doing something, is taking it's action that you are doing, that you continue doing, that you have done for years, that is now layering and creating something quite beautiful. The quilt is never made with just one stitch, but it's one stitch at a time, one stitch at a time, one stitch at a time. Circles and patterns repeating, circles and patterns repeating, circles and patterns repeating. Now we're getting the 8 of coins. This is diligence. It's usually the card of work where you see somebody stacking up the coins. And this is the apprentice and the master. And it feels like mastery is really coming in. You have going down here, courage and the hangman coming through. We have the balance, the victory, and the strength. We have the hermit and the conflict. Is there anything else that's coming through the heart of this that I want to see? No, it won't come through in this way. I need to move it this way. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, we want to see on that card of diligence over here, this card of diligence. So I want to see the clarifier on this, because wow, it does take courage. Wow, this is really coming through strong here. Oh my goodness. Of course. Look, it's returning you to where the circle began. It's returning, if I can get this to go, right here. It's so glary, but this is returning. Remember I said this needed mended. This is what's coming in. This is redefining the terms of your life, the boundaries of your life, what actually works for you. Relearning the secrets and unveiling the mystery to the self. It's not just about survival anymore. It's what's fulfilling, what softens, what really brings joy to you going forward. This is huge for you. How do you become the divine masculine? Not just following what is the rule and the rigid structure and what needs to be set up, but how do you reset that in a way that it serves you? How do you do it over and over in a way that it creates mastery and beauty going forward? How do the days in your life stack up over time? And then we're getting the lesson of temperance. This is a balance. This is you learning flow. And look at, again, you've got the hermit looking towards something to the past, but the temperance, and it's looking with the lantern at lantern's light. 9:30 to 10:30 at night. This is the time to examine and bookend your day and really seeing the success that's going on there. Anything else? We come back to the Lovers again. This is the story. This is the story that is... Sometimes clairaudience comes in and it's like both ears going off at once. And what I'm getting is Leanne rhymes the story, and I'm getting Beauty and Beast, tale as old as time. This is the story. It's telling me what is the significant love relationship in your life you have done before. You've done it before. You'll do it again. There is something about this divine connection and these divine lessons where you are learning to define yourself as emperor rather than empress. You are learning how to set up things on your own terms a little bit more. And this is important for you. Okay. Of course. And then we're getting, again, the Fortis and the Strength, which we got over here by the Two of Cups. This is their Two of Cups. And this is the strength and the balancing of what? The feminine and the masculine. But yeah, you can see that. Yeah. You are with somebody that is really a good partner for you to learn this balance, to have these lessons come through. And then the Star is here. This is something that is slated and fated is the way I would say it. Slated and fated. You're learning this. This is something that's in the stars. This is something soul contracts and pre-planning, and you're learning. It's why the rings interlock. It's why the wedding ring quilt comes through so strongly. It's just how it comes through. It's just how it comes through. This is how you are learning to stitch through the days, to stitch through what's part of your soul path in this life, what is the work that was unfinished or needed to move forward from the past and to move it forward. Yes, down the track. And the soul contract with this significant. You will have contracts. Not every lesson is going to be sweet. But the overall lesson, there is a respect and a learning from both. I'm loving this for you. This is the energy right here. This energy, the Two of Cups. The strength and the fortitude coming through strong. And you're each getting a chance to do the Emperor's work, to set up the terms. So maybe if it was a couple as old as this, maybe one would be more dominant in their youth and somebody else might be a little bit more coming into their own as age kicks in. So that's what I'm getting. Anything else on this? No, leave it there. Enough threads. Let her do the weaving. Okay, all right. You're supposed to be doing the weaving and the mending, the strengthening of that stitch, and you're supposed to be doing the weaving of your story. Yeah, okay. That's complete. Yeah, that's what I've got. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, I'd look for a wedding ring quilt that has the colors of red and pink in it, and I would see what you see. Because one of those types of things, one of those images will speak to you, and it's like, okay, that'll be a heads-up reminder of this reading. You'll see it. Whether you look online or whether you're walking around a quilt shop or whatever, you'll see it. Okay. So for Madam, for a full, let me get some water, and we'll take a look at what's going on, okay? Just 1 second. Thanks so much. Always on point. Good. Glad it helps. Good. And that was this one, guys. The Lumicella Tarot. So it's beautiful. My only thing is I wish it had more people because the people are so fascinating to me. But it is definitely stitching destiny thread by thread, the Lumicella Tarot. So yeah, it's a gorgeous one. If that's your gig, you'll probably dig it. Can I adjust the camera to see the cards? Yeah, I'll be flipping it down. I flip it from here and then down, here and then down. And also, Madam, I record this, so if you go to the tube and check for my name on the tube, you'll find your reading, and you'll find it on today's day. I'll upload it once the show is done. So yeah, it's recorded and then it goes. But yeah, and the iPad will usually show more of the table, but I'm up and down, because if I want to talk to you more directly. So hopefully that'll be good. But are we doing a full from Adam? And do we have a question, or are we just going in the general? Full? And let's see if there's a question or not. And if there is a question, great. And if you want to have that, great. So I'll give you just a minute to see if there's a question that you want to ask. And if not, we'll just dive in and go. Okay. We're going to go into the Sasarabito Tarot for you. Love the amber ring. Yeah, I'm sure this is not real other than epoxy resin, but thank you. Yeah, it's very much makes me think carnelian stone, but really it's a fun one. Okay, we're going into Sasarabito. A lot going on. See what resonates. Give me just a second. I've got the Sasarabito. I know I've got the right deck, but We're going to do the spread of the Emperor's Throne. It was Emperor's Throne X spread, Emperor's Throne X spread, Emperor's Throne X spread. It's the Emperor's Throne that wants to come in first, and then we're going into the book. Okay, all right. We're going to flip this down. So we're going to see what's going on. We're going to start with the Emperor's Throne, and it's like this shape that looks like kind of capital C on its side and then a little C below. And I just call it the Emperor's Throne. It's just one of my spreads that I like to do. And that's the way it's coming in. So it's asking me to do this as a preview. Oh, honey. All right. It feels like there's been a heartbreak and there's been a cleaving or a split, a bifurcation. There's something that's split. Boom, right in the center. And it's heartache. Right in the center. The Six of Cups and nostalgia is coming in a little too heavy. It's very much longing for what might have been, could have been, should have been, and it's not that way. And the rest and the being at peace needs to be brought forward. I wish these were in different order. Usually for me, this side is past, this side is future, and it feels like you're looking towards the past rather than having your own peace. The Wheel of Fortune and Fate has made you have a sacrifice. The Eight of Cups is showing going your own way, and this is a cutting of what used to be, a switching of the role, switching of what used to be played, a letting go of something that was just illusion. Sometimes this is just procrastination, procrastinating the inevitable cut, the inevitable change that must happen. This feels like the center in the now. Four of Pentacles feels like you're trying to protect your heart and protect a little much. This is coming up as almost like a wounded feeling, a hurt, definitely hurt heart feeling, trying to hold on to something that can't be held. A Seven of Pentacles. This is the Harvester's card. This is yet to come, and I want to focus on this as we go forward. And the Knight of Pentacles. This is slow growth and slow success preparation to move forward, and there needs to be timing. And this feels, this also, yes, this comes in and it's bringing me harvest season, harvest season. It's going to take a while to get over this and move forward. Now we're going to move these up, and we'll leave them up here. Well, you know what? I'm going to just put them in the order that I got them. Put them in the order that I got them. And then if I want to go back, if we see repeats, we'll see repeats. We're going to do the book now. The book is the spread that I want to get into. But we're going to get in there with the Sastra Beto, second and third deck. We're going to go into the book here. So we're going to get a page of the past and a page of the future. It's between the father and the significant other, okay? And madam, when I go into the read, I'm going in, I probably won't be checking my phone as much, so just heads up on that. And if you need something pinned or if you need to repeat, don't be offended. It's just I'm lost in the cards. We're going in the past between the father and significant other. What's going on? And we're going to look at the pages here. Yeah. Okay. The pages of the book, the page of the chapter ending, chapter beginning, and then the spine down the middle. We'll see what's going on. This down so you can see. Then we're going to flip here. What's coming up is quite good. It's going to be challenging. Something about whatever is going on with the father and son, I'm not sure. You might see this and you might know this a little more clearly than I mean, you know your life better than I do. But the energy of the cards is what I'm bringing forward. And this is conflict. Aggravation is coming off of this side more than I'd like it to be, particularly with this Nine of Swords. Aggravation. This is coming through with the Nine of Swords, and the energy of the Five of Swords is like just kicking off. So I'm not sure what that's about, but that's what's coming through. Okay. So I've got this side over here, and we'll go to that. Both of them are fairly good in the shot as far as what's going on my iPad in the recording. So I'll hold these up as I go, some of them, but we'll see what's going on. I want to see what's the binder. So you have the page that's the last of the chapter, the past, the page that's new coming up, and what's carrying over is the binder. We're going to go to this original one that we use the Emperor's Throne on and see what binds them going across. Now, when you see repeats, it's like the universe trying to give you a neon sign about something, okay? So be aware. And the bookmark. Wow. Okay. This is like a bookmark that you get a book and it's got the ribbon that goes down, that kind of bookmark. It's sewn in, but this is the page that we're on, and that comes through. The 10 of Wands is what's coming through as the bookmark. So put this over here for now. This is in the past, and it's coming up at the top as the bookmark. I'm going to flip this down. I won't be reading the screen, so you can see this as we go. But this is what's going on in the recent past. Again, this contentious energy in the Nine of Swords, the anxiety and the stress. Page of Cups, the young boy coming through here, offering a surprise, different than what is expected. How the boy is becoming is different than what is planned, or different than what is, yeah, it's like, maybe somebody wants the kid to be the, and this is an example. It's meant as an example. It's meant as a metaphor. Somebody that might want their kid to be the athlete, but the kid is more into doing things like gaming or different things like that. The kid's not into athletics. That kind of is the example. And there's a little bit of a mismatch in alignment of what this is coming through as more paternal. This is coming through as more as son. This is coming past. This is coming forward. There's a mismatch. And the generation prior, the father energy doesn't seem to understand what Page of Cups wants to do. It's coming through as artist, student, really surprising, has his own true north energy, is holding his own true north energy quite strongly, actually, even though it's difficult to do. The Nine of Swords, it creates anxiety and stress for the one caught in the middle. The Seven of Cups, the hopes and dreams, the procrastination and hoping something will be changed and outgrow. It's hard for the, I'm calling it the boy, but it's the sun energy. It's hard for the boy right now. King's trying to understand and be compassionate here, but you're wanting a dynamic there that is not there yet, that cannot be there, and this is not there yet. The father energy is not in the grandparent role yet. The King of Cups is the one that keeps calm and carries on. This is what you need to bring forward. Kind of a detachment from emotion, but also compassion coming through as this is the compassionate king. This is what needs to come. 3 years time is coming through here. When I get a timestamp, I tell you guys, this doesn't always mean 3 years, but that's what I'm getting. The Three of Wands, waiting, patience. The Santa Fe burger is what I call this card. It's like when you order something at the restaurant, you don't go chase the waitress to get your favorite burger. You have to wait. When the ships go out, you have to wait for them to come back in. The plans that are being made, there's something coming in about the boy in 3 years' time, and this softens in 3 years' time. That's not helpful to you now in the immediate. In the immediate, you're feeling like a crunch, spiky energy. 10 of Wands, the burden. It's like, oh my gosh, is this kid ever going to learn something? There needs to be more balance coming in. This will come in time. Again, the young boy trying to figure it out. All of this feels like very much your energy here, trying to figure it out. There's so many possibilities, so many different ways it could go. Now this one came in, we saw this before, here in the Emperor's Throne. We see this. There's something about the dreams that need to be examined and how to make them a little bit more real versus just pie in the sky, versus just, well, you could do this or you could do this and the world is full of possibilities. What actually suits the situation to be done is important. What actually suits the person, not what one person wants them to be, not the version of the boy that somebody else wants to put upon them, rather the version of the boy that he needs to become, the boy growing into manhood, the boy becoming the man, the young one becoming himself more and more. And that means that the father energy is going to have to honor some of the dreams that are the boy's dreams to go forward, to bridge into this future going forward. Okay, here's the bridge or the binding that bridges over into the future. This is where the bookmark is. Right now you're in this stage where it just needs to be set down. You just need rest, just need a little bit of reprieve that's coming on. The Five of Cups, this grieving and sorrow, and this is usually grief and sorrow of a big kind. Sometimes when somebody has passed away, this comes through. What I'm getting is the aspirations and the desires that sometimes a parent has for the child are not always aligned with what the child wants to be or is meant to be or is meant to be doing. And that's just as much a lesson for the parent as it ever could be for the child. But this disappointment energy that carries over doesn't serve, yet it is there in a palpable way. The Seven of Swords, the Sneaky Pete the Thief card, or the one that has to cover their ass and travel more lightly, the one that feels like they're getting ripped off or taken from. Cover your ass. There's certain energy that's bleeding over. This one feels like he has to take in order to do. The stability here with the King of Coins coming through and the Three of Coins for teamwork. And the teamwork is looking backward, looking backward, looking backward. There's a disharmony that has to happen. Yes, yes. Sometimes we get this in the metaphor of apron strings. There's a phrase of cutting the apron strings, where the children have to see the flaws in their parents in order to move forward in life, like they're in going to college or to become independent, all of this. And as parents, we have to cut the apron strings and let them become who they want to be. This is what's coming through on this in a big way. Mother passed, your spouse, not son. Got it, got it. Take what's coming through. Take what's coming through. This is what's going on. This is what it feels like. The expectation of whoever this is, this young one, this version. We are not here to be anybody else's version of us. And they are not here to be our version of them. And it feels like the expectation has cost a high amount. The hopes and dreams of this person isn't being honored. It needs to be honored. And they are becoming who they need to be. It's going to take some time. The attachment for us to have for somebody else to become who we want them to be. If it's not son, but I frankly, the apron strings come in too strongly for me to say something other than this. These are the metaphors I'm given. This is what I'm giving you. What it feels like is somebody's version of someone else isn't in alignment with who the someone else actually needs to become. We need to allow other people to be themselves. So we're going to go back down to the cards and see what's going on. So let's go down to future. We're over here. Oh, let me flip this part down too. Okay. We're down in the cards again. Wow, a painful reckoning here. The nostalgia of the past, looking back to the past. This is where we have friendship and happiness and joy, but it's also where we have rose-colored glasses on. Hang on. This is the card where there's rose-colored glasses and a protected time. Queen of Wands, very, very territorial, wanting what she wants. Absolutely. She's generally the most approachable, but she also, when she's in her pissier self, when her more uptight self, she gets too territorial, too dug in to her own stuff, too dug in to her own stuff. And this is what I feel like. She's dug in about something on the past. The Knight of Wands. Somebody that wants to explore, pursue, wants to charge ahead. And yet somebody wants to hold too tight, too tight, too tight. Going forward. Ace of Pentacles is here. This line is really important to me. This one's coming in. This Queen of Wands is learning how to get grounded, learning how to offer reward, learning her own value, her own sense of value going forward, rather than having it be a control mechanism. I don't know what that is about, but that's what's coming in. The control mechanism and the limitations of thought have shifted, transferred, changed, transmuted. This turns this way now. 10 of Cups coming in. This is harmony, familial harmony, happiness in the home. 4 of Swords coming in. We saw that before. We saw that in the Emperor's throne. Do you remember? It was at the base of the throne. We saw much of these before, actually. But let me see if I can find it. There it is. We saw this before. It's you needing to go within to understand. Each person must go within and meditate on the things and really, really rest. Take good self-care. Take care of self in a way that serves. This is huge important. This is necessary for you to understand your value, your worth, and your role in, and the shifting roles. Again, bookmark to the Wands. To lighten the load, to lighten the burden, to lighten what's coming up. This shifting role. 7 of Pentacles, that came in on the throne also. CC, this is where you're headed towards, the harvest time. Okay. I'm going to flip this up for a minute. What I'm getting is you're going through a period of time where something that you're expecting is not going to be what it actually is. Something that you want it to be and how you want it to be contained or demonstrated or shown is not going to be how it is. In fact, it needs to be shed. Somebody needs to be allowed to travel more lightly. What you want eventually comes through, but it doesn't look like what you think it will look at all. It looks very, very different. And the lesson in here is not just to grieve the loss or the past or whatever. It's to allow the past to be and allow the present to be and allow the future to be. And we are only in this now moment. We are only in this present moment. But it is such a burden when we are tethered to the past, when we're so stuck on that it gets in our way. I want to look again. The star card from this side, from the past, the hopes and dreams. What else do they need to know about what's going on for all in the situation to move forward? Interesting. This came up before also, but this is where somebody's holding too tight. The wound is definitely there. Somebody holding too tight to that wound, and somebody trying to control too much is not the way that it's going to be. You have enough to be stable. Usually you see this card, and it's the card of the miser, and it's the coin on the head, the coin on the heart, and the two below the feet. The heart needs to open a little bit more. You've forgiven the past and went on, but you get dragged back in by your dad. Yeah, this is where the boundaries will need to be set a little bit firmer for you, where you need to go in and take care of yourself. And it's hard to not get dragged into family drama. I mean, let's get real. It's family. It's hard to not get dragged back in. All of us have had lessons on this. And this is where it's saying the hurt needs to be open enough to be vulnerable, but protected enough to not have you wounded and wounded and wounded. And that's a tricky balance. This is where you get clear about what you can be receptive to, clear about the level of contact you want to have, clear about the communication you want to have, but also maintain your stability. This person has enough coins that they could share, they could open, but they don't need to give up everything and be penniless, right? You're always the one that everyone comes to with problems to help. This is why you're getting this. You need to set that burden down. It's overwhelming, 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 overwhelming. Showing up for your own boundaries is self-love. This is the card of self-care, self-love. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you've been assigned some of this territorial stuff and been assigned some of this as far as approachable. But the nostalgia of the past, you do not owe a debt of obligation, even if they are family. How do I say this? The price of your soul is not paid by you sacrificing for others. Their souls, their journey, their happiness, their life path is not more important than yours. I cannot say this any more clearly than you're dragged in to help your husband and father. You need to figure out what you're going to allow, what you're going to tolerate, and what you're going to stand your ground on. And you need to hold your ground in a way that serves your soul. I don't know how to say it any plainer. Sometimes you need to tell people, you might want to tell them to fuck off. You might want to tell them forget you. You might want to tell them, no way, Jose. But sometimes it's just no. That's a complete sentence. No. I can't, or I won't, or I choose not to do that at this time. That is not in my best interest. Your best interest needs to be put at the fore again. So this patterning can be released. So the nostalgia of what you want it to be is different. You're compassionate and empathetic. Yeah, I am sure. Sometimes we learn those skills of empathy and we become empaths because it's a matter of survival. But then when we get older and more grown and more powerful in understanding how this compassion is supposed to serve, we have to get better at drawing boundaries. And this is what's happening. 10 of Cups comes when the Queen knows her value. The Queen of Coins knows her values, and she's ready to harvest the reward. This takes a long time, and it feels like you're going to be doing this through August, from now through August, and even into September, and even beyond. But this is where you are learning to say no, say no, say no. It's not because you're being stingy. You can share some, but you don't have to share all. This is huge for you. This is huge. It's like you are learning how to honor the role of the past, the nostalgia of the past. The role and the version of yourself that was is not the version of yourself that is. And you need to stand for the power of the version of yourself that is. This is huge for you right now. This is you standing in your power right there. You need to cover your ass. This is the binding thing. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you feel like you're ripped off, and it will create resentment. And you don't need more of that. You don't need that toxic poison going on. You can only do so much. So do what you can when you can, but do for yourself first. What else does she need to know? There is victory in this lesson for you. There is huge victory. You recognize it, you see it, and you lift yourself up. There is victory in this. This also comes through, when this comes through wonky, it's usually shown as the horse on parade, but sometimes there can come survivor's guilt going through with this one. So don't let the guilt be used against you. Don't let survivor's guilt or you outgrowing a thing keep you trapped and locked to the past with it. It doesn't serve you to do so. Anything else? There will be sun on this. Yeah, this is like a big leveling up, a big level of lesson coming through. When you have the sun, everything is fully illuminated. So it's like when you first learn about like maybe what narcissism is and narcissist empath roles and dynamics and how that works. And you're just trying to figure out what's going on. Why is the family dysfunction going this way? Or why are the roles what they are? Once you have the education, once you have the awareness, once you have the learning on this, you can identify it and operate differently. And that's what you're being called to do. You're getting this card too strongly, where it's saying retreat, restore, renew, and then harvest something new. Plant and harvest something new is coming in strongly. Anything else? No, that's complete. That's a lot. That's really a lot. So whatever this is, it's balancing. Whether it's the son, whether it's the spouse, whether it's the family, forgiving the family. Whatever this old role is that was the past, it has been outgrown. And not just by the son, the spouse, the father, the whoever. Across the board. When we are doing the work of generational breakthrough, when we are doing the work and we're discovering the truth of a thing first, if you go up to a narcissist and say, you're a narcissistic son of a bitch, are you ever going to think about somebody beside yourself? That is not going to serve. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. You just use the knowledge, operate differently. You can see, you can identify. It's like, okay, you get it now. You get it. And now you are all growing. You tell them you need rest and recoup, but they do not respect. You have to stand for your own boundaries. If you haven't had a strong boundary in the past and you set one, it's going to be inconvenient for them to have to deal with something different. So this can be very difficult for them because you're saying no. You're denying them a resource that they're used to having easily. So it's difficult to be the one holding the boundary. Can you be holding your family karmic? You could be, but what it feels like is that you are trying to do some chain breaking right now. You're trying to do some generational breakthrough. Ask for the ancestors and guides and angels and whoever it is that you connect with on the other side to help you move through this. Set your boundaries clearly and hold them. And they won't like that, and they'll try and manipulate and get you to do what they want you to do because that's convenient for them. They are not more important in this life than you. We are all equally special. We all need to stand for ourselves. It is not your job to be put on their altar and sacrificed so they get to have everything they want and you come up with the short end of the stick all the time. It's not that. So you stand your ground, hold your ground, and sometimes we don't know a boundary until it's crossed, until it is painful, and we're like, yeah, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. So understand that you're learning and you're having a huge amount of growth between now and what feels like August and September. You're going to be ahead of the learning curve on this, but it's also a painful place to be in, to be the first one. If you are the family truth teller, if you're the one in the family that wants to set boundaries and heal old wounds or heal and break the generational curses, it's not always easy being black sheep, honey. So that's what I've got. That's complete. It's big, but that's what's going on. So that's what's going on for you. Focus on holding your boundaries. Focus on holding your value. You are every bit as worthy of happiness and joy and having your boundaries respected as any other person on the planet. They are not more important than you. I don't care if they're, a brain surgeon, a rocket scientist. I don't care if they're king of the universe. They're not more important than you. So that's what I got. That feels complete. Yeah. And a lot of people on the planet are learning this lesson right now. A lot of people. So, don't feel like, well, why haven't I gotten it sooner? Why haven't I done better? Don't beat yourself up, baby. A lot of us are having to learn this lesson, and a lot of people on the planet are going through this time where chains are being broken. New spiritual lessons are being learned because one in the family is breaking the generational curse of something and breaking the chains so that more can follow and understand. Like, I remember talking with one of my sisters, and I was talking about some of this empath stuff and some of this, and she's like, what? You know about this? And I had been trying to tell her for years about something, and she just couldn't hear. And then she's like, oh, so if you're the first to discover some of this, understand and learn, and they might not get it. If you try and talk to people about this in the family and they're not ready to hear, don't keep talking. just keep growing, keep learning, set your boundaries, give them an opportunity to understand this new version of you that you are becoming and inhabiting more. Okay, Lauren for a mini on how to balance her art and personal something. Okay, personal versus work or combined. I'm trying to get this to go down. 1 second, Lauren. Sorry about this. I'm trying to get it. Oh, okay. How to keep the personal combined or keep the work separate for Lauren for a mini. Okay, you got it, sweetie. Let's take a look. We're going into the Astro Matrix for you on this. So, okay. Oops, hang on. I'm sorry. Trying to scroll up and it's getting a little bit weird. Okay. You're welcome, honey. You are welcome. Yeah, you're going to do fine, madam. You're going to do fine. It isn't easy, but it's very, very worth it, and you're going to be fine. All right. Lauren, work and personal. Do we keep this separate or combined? And I'm telling you, separate. That's what I'm getting. Let's look at this a little bit further. But without even needing the cards, it needs to be separate. It's hard to compartmentalize. There will be overlap regardless of what you try and do. But sometimes it's not easy to have the work combined with whatever is going on at home. Like sometimes you think people will move their office into the home and think, oh, this will be great. Have the home office. And sometimes you can't let go of one and the other. Separate is what I'm getting. Now, what else do we need to know for Lauren? Let's see what's going on. I'm feeling separate again. We've got here the Eight of Swords and the King of Cups. There needs to be balance. The waves need to go in and out, in and out. So what you're getting is, here's this limitation that is on the shoreline. The waves will knock down these swords eventually, right? But the King of Cups knows how to ride these waves. He knows the up and downs and knows how to balance the in-between of those. Let's see what's going on. King of Wands. You're getting water and fire. Yeah, you need to keep them separate. I can't get it any more plainly. Separate. What I'm getting is these are opposite things, opposite gears. You're driving in opposite ways. And if you need to be on task for work and focused on work, it's not going to be as easy to do at home. So hard and arduous to separate those parts. Yeah. Lauren, what I'm getting is that you are learning the skill of how to compartmentalize in a good way. This is what you have to do. Get the limitations off. It's not that you can't have overlap. You will have overlap. It's you need to learn how to function with the overlap and have that work for you. So this is what I'm seeing here. Now let's see what else is going on. And let's see what's in this central line too. Okay, I'm getting the color of mud brown coming through very, very strongly. If you try and use all of the colors at once and you keep adding color, keep adding color, keep adding color, eventually you're getting mud brown and it doesn't serve, right? This is what's happening. The fire, if you have too much inspiration, you're trying to balance, you get to the tower. This is what's coming first. Mud brown is coming in. So let me put this down here. Okay, so hopefully you can see. All right, there we go. Okay, the tower is here. Justice is here. You're trying to balance. But again, if you're mixing all those color on the palettes and you mix them all in, you eventually get brown. Holding your boundaries is important. Walking away is important. This is the two things that you need to know. These bookends are confusing. This center is what needs to come through. Interesting. Yeah, don't do it. There will be overlap, but it feels like separate. Even if the only thing you can separate this out by is time. Now, this is an interesting thing. Even if the delineation can't be place and space, but time. If you know, okay, at this time, this is when I do da-da-da-da-da. This is my time set aside to do work. This is my time over here set aside to do family things. It's a balancing of time that will help in a big, big way. If you can't extricate your studio or your home from your workspace, then you have to make separations of time. Don't know what that's about, but that's what's coming through. It's so hard as an artist to separate those parts. Absolutely. One will inspire and fuel the other, and you can take ideas from what's going on in the family realm and put it into your art, but there needs to be defined time. You need to compartmentalize in order that one inspires the other. Got it. Could you also ask why it's so hard for you to charge your worth? Yeah, let's see if more of that comes through in these cards. Sometimes it's hard for us to charge our worth because we've been brought up in a society that teaches us we need to give, and doesn't honor the feminine arts, the divine arts, the intuitive arts, art itself. we've been brought up in, some of us, in a much more, well, it's value to be a scientist, value to be a doctor, value to be masculine, but this other stuff, no, this is frou-frou. And so this is sometimes what plays into it. But learning and respecting your own arts and allowing for imperfection to be in there and allowing the beauty and the essence and the authenticity to come through, that's where we learn to value what our worth is. Now, going back down to the cards, okay? All right, here we go. Coming through. The strength, the grieving, the world, Five of Pentacles. This separate. I knew I'd see this in here. I knew I would see this. Okay. Right here. The separation from tradition is what's coming through. The separation from tradition. You having completed a cycle and you need to learn the balance here, the world. You're seeing the yin and yang beautifully in this card. Beautifully, beautifully illustrated. You need a little bit in each, and then you need to allow it to fully be. You don't need these to come together and create a mess, a mucky brown or a gray. You need black and white and a little bit, just a little bit. Think of this, the yin yang symbol. The day sky and the night sky, right? The feminine and the masculine, they do need to be balanced. A little bit in each will create that balance. But it does take a little bit of work and strength to do this. This is balancing the flow. Again, time. You have so many cards of balance in here, from the King of Cups to here, and you're getting it in this next row going forward. The limitations are in your mind. Go with the flow. Try flowing with what's the best time that I'm most creative. When do I do art best? Figure out the time, figure out the space, and then be dedicated and committed to what it is that you have for your intention and your purpose. Here's the student learning how to use the resource, how to bring this forward, the student with the gift. Here's the knight with the opportunity and the high ideals. Don't expect extreme success or extreme failure. Don't think in these terms. Allow yourself to have an ideal, what you're shooting for, and then honor the success. So maybe 4 days of the week you hit your target time that you, like if you were a writer, maybe it'd be a word count that you were trying to hit. If you're an artist, maybe it's so many hours in the studio. But allow your goal to be the ideal, but not to burden you, not to weigh you down, and adjust your goals accordingly. This is what's coming through. It's learning the balance. Again, King of Cups rides the waves, right? Understands how to detach from emotion, use the emotion compassionately, and then move forward. And the Chariot, you will gain momentum on this. You are going to gain momentum, but it has to be you that's in the driver's seat. Now, let's see what else is going on this. Same deck, second deck, right? Second deck. I want to see what's going on with the Chariot, what's going on in July, because we're getting a July stamp here. Wow, this summer is a busy summer for so many of us. Okay, you're backtracking through time. This is what I'm getting. These come through as layers. Put this to the side. These come through as layers. You cannot see it clearly, but it's asking you to balance the domestic with the wild, right? Follow your intuition. And then what are we getting as the repeat? You questing for the grail. This line is what it is. Your quest is for you. It's personal for you. Let go of what it is that isn't working out. When you have something that feels like a loss or something that feels sorrow, pivot when the time is ready to pivot. You cannot be stuck wallowing and mourning. And you can't be procrastinating and forever chasing the grail and expecting perfect all the time. That just doesn't fly. Allow yourself to have a new emotion, new start. Allow this to come through. Then look what happens. The magician, who has all the skills in the universe, learns how to balance. See this? Card of balance. This. Card of balance. See this? You are learning how to transmute. You are learning how to create magic with the resources that you have. Page of Swords has witnessed and seen a thing or two, but it sometimes doesn't communicate very well. What we get when we get that going on, particularly in the realm of artistry or artists, we've seen and witnessed things, but we might be too hard on ourselves. We might be too critical on ourselves or too harsh in how we communicate. This is a card where we've seen and observed something and we want to communicate. This guy wants to be on the horse as the rider, but he's just not got the horse yet. He's got the truth. He's got the idea. He's got the inspiration. But there needs to be a dedication, a practice, and a commitment that comes in a very balanced way. And you're moving through that portal right now. This is what you're moving through. The balance that's coming in here. As you hold your boundary, as you set this time, it feels like if you're doing a business on a shoestring, if you're doing art on a budget, if you're doing something where you can't rent a studio. Like some people can go to a music studio, a practice room, and they practice cello or drums or whatever it is. They can go practice all the time. Some people can't afford the studio space, so they have to practice how they practice. You'll be able to find the balance, whether you're doing it on a shoestring or not, as long as you are dedicated to what it is that you are doing. The dedication and finding the balance needs to be there. So if your goal for the week is just to work on one specific canvas or one specific practice of a song or one specific thing, work on that. If you decide your goal is to spend 3 hours doing it, make sure that you understand what your goal is and that your goal doesn't act as a burden. It acts as an idea. Say you make your goal for 3 hours, but you're only able to manage 2. Okay, so next week, set the goal for 2 or 2.5. But allow yourself to have an ideal, but not demand perfection. No, allow yourself to move towards and move forward. That will bring the balance in. Anything else she needs to know? Yeah. The Lover's card. Now, I'm trying to cover this pretty good so I don't get banished. But you can see the balance. This is Heart's Desire. And this used to be called the Lover singular card. And it's when the person has to choose the career path or the love or their romance. And it's a choice. You have to follow Heart's Desire on that. What you choose to do. So you have the Lover as card 6, a Chariot as card 5. What are you going to move towards? What are you going to move towards? This is big. And this is where you're moving forward to what brings vibrancy and color to you. What feels right to your heart. What feels focused to your heart. Your heart's desire is what you need to move towards. Allowing a little bit of other, a little bit of opposite in there to create the balance. That's what's feeling like what needs to come forward for you. And it feels like this is a little bit of soul contract for you to learn this lesson and learn how to do this. So that's what's coming through on that. So, all right. Yeah, that's complete right there. Choices. It's about choices. It's about choices. And you're not choosing wrongly to be learning along the way. We don't all make perfect choices all the time, or we sometimes overestimate what we think we can do, and then life gets in the way. But hold the boundaries, make the choices, then make choices again, and continue with the committed heart, the dedicated heart that follows your heart's desire, and you're going to be all right. That's what I'm getting. It feels like learning to separate and compartmentalize will act as a gift of commitment and dedication, if that makes sense to you. So that's what's come through. Amazing as always. Thank you so much. You're welcome, honey. You are so, so welcome, hon. So welcome. Good luck on it. Good luck, good luck, good luck. All right. So, Kim, are we caught up with the list? Yeah, well, Author PR. I am on usually Monday and Wednesday at 11, and I just opened the list at the paid time. I also do offer, if you want to get a paid list and a private video reading, I'll do 3 questions for $66 and send you a video link of those 3 questions. But if you want to have it on the live, I'll be on Wednesday at 11. So I think we're going to probably call it. It's 1:11 right now. It seems like the perfect time to call it. It's been a really, really good day. And if you guys have other questions, if you guys go to my YouTube and you see that side by side and like that, let me know. I'm thinking that I'll organize a couple more decks and do side by sides, because sometimes the flip throughs are just too long, and sometimes the side by side, you just want to see certain people look for certain cards. So whether your card is Strength or the World or the Lovers or the Two of Cups, before you buy a deck, sometimes you like to see the flip through. So, and I'd like to compare different ones. Like I did the Lumicella cards. Sorry, I can't talk. Lumicella with the Astro Matrix in a side by side, and did the comparison on that. So I'll probably do a few more of those over on the YouTube channel. I'll upload this when I'm done. But I hope you guys have a really, really good day. If the list is clear, that last one that I used, wasn't it this one? Yeah, it was this. This was the Astro Matrix that we were in. So, and that one's on my YouTube if you want to look, and you can look and see what's going on. But this is the Astro Matrix, and then this one is the Lumicella, and I did a side-by-side of these. They aren't similar at all. They're very, very different. But it's nice to see how art is done. It's why I have way too many tarot decks. A lot of tarot. I love, 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 love tarot. So yeah. So that's what I got. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.